Thank you, Jeff. 8:07, it's Hal for Shadow Davis. Shadow is back on Monday. The HSC Foundation Bringing Hope to Life Radiothon is coming up February 3rd right here on CJOB. You will hear lots of stories about Manitobans who've received care at the Health Sciences Center, and we're going to tell you one of those stories right now from a familiar voice, a familiar face, Dave Angus.
Face for radio.
Yes, yeah. Face for radio. You're in the right spot. Former president of the Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, and now at the Johnston Group. Great to see you again.
Good to see you, Hal. Welcome back to
Thank
CJOB.
you. Thank you very much. It's great to be back. So I'm getting ready for the interview today. I knew we were having an interview relating to the Radiothon, and I see your name, and I start reading some of the facts. Tell this story to everybody.
Well, it was I was leaving the chamber after 17 years in July, and before I was leaving, my wife and I decided to go on a trip to London. And so we went on the trip, had a great trip, got home, and I had this headache, and I don't get headaches. And it was kind of nagging, so I thought, I'm going to go see my doctor on the Thursday of that week when we got back. I woke up that morning, and I had this extremely sharp, excruciating pain in the back of my head. And I started getting the shakes, and I really thought that was it. It's one of those times where just in a single moment, things change forever.
Right.
So I called an ambulance, rushed me into emergency, and it was kind of funny because I went in, rushed me in for an MRI, and the emergency doctor was kind of thinking that it wouldn't be that serious. He thought, well, it probably won't come back showing anything. We'll probably just send you home. Came back, and they saw that it was a brain hemorrhage.
Wow.
And he had to sit down. He said, you're very lucky because most people don't survive this. And apparently it's about 50-50 on brain hemorrhages. And so rushed me to the place you have to go for neurology, and that's the Health Science Center.
Right.
And they did some other tests. I did what's called an angiogram, where they to a tube up your leg and shoot some ink into the veins
so
into your head.
They can see what's going on.
See what's going on. So they saw the problem. It was an arterial venous malfunction, just how the vein and the artery is set up. And so they got me into emergency surgery the next day, 3.5-hour surgery. And what's not funny about the part of it is that 3 hours and 25 minutes is just getting in and out of the brain. It's only about a 2 or 3 minute actual procedure. But Dr. Salvaggio is my hero. And that surgical team at Health Science Center, who are world-class, with world-class equipment there, really made me feel like confident that I was in great hands. And
You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this.
Absolutely. And so they saved my life, and I'm forever grateful. And we should all be very grateful that we have such great people here at the Health Science Center here in Winnipeg to look after us.
You know, I've had, and my family has had wonderful experiences at HSC as well, and so I can relate. Certainly not my situation, and my family's situation wasn't as serious as yours, but I can relate because I often say to people, when I'm asking people to give, in the case of, say, the Radiothon coming up, you don't always think you're going to need it.
No.
But when you need it, boy, is it important to have such a world-class facility right here in Winnipeg.
Well, that was the thing with me. Like, I was always very healthy, never had any particular serious issues. And then all of a sudden, in a moment, I needed help. And I got to tell you, with every interaction I had with the people, I got more and more confident that I was looked after. But the best part, frankly, was the recovery. They have this great setup where it's 8 beds in a circle, and with a nursing station in the middle. And I'll always remember my nurse, Cora. She was phenomenal, really looked after me. But it was like a community. And you get to know the people, you get to know their stories, and it's like you're not going through it alone. You're going through it together as a community. And so that really helped because the recovery was tough. 4 days in the hospital, excruciating headaches. But the staff there, led by Cora, phenomenal. And so when we look at how we can contribute to Health Science Center, there's high level equipment that we require. There's research that's required, but always keep in mind that we are supporting the people, and they deserve our support. And because they really just want to look after you, and they did a phenomenal job with me. I'm a very, very lucky guy.
Yeah, that facility. Listen, the equipment is wonderful, and and the structure. I mean, all that stuff is wonderful. But you're right; it is about the people that operate those machines and the people that fill the halls and the rooms that take care of you in a case like that. It really is about the great staff and the wonderful people at HSC.
So I remember laying in the bed, and I could hear, and it was before I was supposed to go home. I had to have one more MRI before I'd go. And I remember people talking about how backed up it is, and and there's lots of demands. And I remember just listening to Cora on the phone, even in a very forceful way, making sure they're coming to get me, that I'm going to get in there and get my MRI.
She's got your back.
I remember thinking, well, what motivates her to do that, right? And it's just that they care so much about their patients.
Yeah,
that,
you connect with her and them, and they connect with you.
They connect back, exactly. And so it's the human experience that is so phenomenal there. And I'm a lucky guy, Cal.
Yeah,
Really am.
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, great to see you. I'm glad you're sitting here.
Thank you.
And I'm just really happy that everything went well for you and for the family. And of course, Sean Angus, good guy. Your son, a really good guy, and one of my favorite people that I've met in radio over the years. Just a real good guy, and he came from good stock, obviously.
His mother.
Yeah. Well, okay, all right. If you want to be, if we want to be honest about it, let's talk about the Johnston Group. You're with the Johnston Group now, and they are doing something really fantastic. Anybody who becomes a monthly donor, and that can be any amount of money. A monthly donor to HSC Foundation as we get ready for the Radiothon. Johnston Group is matching those dollars up to $7,000, and you can get in on that right now at hopetolife.ca.
Yeah, and we hope people pick that up. That's one of the reasons why I went to Johnston Group, is they're so focused on the community, and this is a great way for them to help. And so we're stepping up in terms of providing that particular match, and we challenge Winnipeggers to take advantage of that. Leading up to the Radiothon, because it's a very important cause and it's a very worthwhile investment.
And again, hopetolife.ca is the website. Hopetolife.ca. Become a monthly donor, any amount, and Johnston Group will match that to a max of $7,000. Well, Dave, it's, as I said, great to see you. I'm really excited for you that everything worked out. And listen, you're dead on about HSC. They're just a fantastic bunch of people and a great facility, and we're blessed to have it here in Winnipeg. No question about it.
That's great. Thank you, Hal. It's a pleasure to be here. Good to see you.
Dave Angus joining us here, telling us his story. And don't forget, you'll hear many more stories like that on the HSC Foundation Bringing Hope to Life Radiothon, February 3rd, right here on 680 CJOB. It's Hal for Shadow, 6:14 now.